Tanner Thorson's sprint car changes paying dividends, and we'll show you what he's been up to. Plus, it's a pivotal weekend for the Lucas Championship, and we'll talk what other dirt racing you can get into coming up. Let's go. It's Thursday, October 10th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Lucas Oil Speedway last night, the host for the Kubota High Limit Sprint Cars. This one was a makeup from the June weekend that got rained out. The championships are settled basically at this point, so all that's left is the race wins and the cash from here on out. In the feature on Wednesday, it kind of didn't pay to be challenging Brad Sweet out front. The two guys that were his closest contenders both ended up suffering mechanical issues, and Sweet went on to the win. High Limit victory number 9 for Sweet, and he now leads all drivers on the year in that category. He's got 9. Corey Day, Rico Abreu both have 8, with 2 more races here still to go. Those two challengers for Sweet who had trouble were Brian Timms and Tanner Thorson. From the 4th starting position, Timms, back in the Liebig car, drove around the Napa 49 on lap 10 for the lead, but his time out front was short-lived. When Kerry Madsen crashed on lap 14, Timms ducked into the work area during the caution, giving the lead back to the Big Cat. Timms later shared to social media he had a fuel leak and had to get it rectified. Obviously, that makes sense. He did drive back through the field, though, to a 9th place finish. And then Thorson ran second for a lot of that feature from that point, but he bowed out with 8 to go when the engine expired on his 88 car. At the end, Tyler Courtney and Spencer Baston rounded out the night's podium. Quick spotlight here on Baston. From all the chatter, he's losing this ride after this weekend, but he's been pretty good here lately. 5 straight top 5s, top 10s in 7 of his last 8 races. It's easily been his best high limit stretch of the season. There are a bunch of rumors about his future right now, but I don't know that I believe a lot of them just yet. I don't think his position is nearly as settled as some have been saying. If he keeps racing like this, though, somebody will certainly give him a shot. The high limit teams, they're off today and on the move to Texas. They close out their 2024 season this weekend with 2 nights at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. I want to talk more about Tanner Thorson here. We mentioned a few days ago that he's been running a coilover setup on his sprint car in recent weeks, and it seems to be paying dividends so far. He picked up 2 second-place runs this last weekend with Power Eye at Texas and was easily in line for a podium last night had that engine not gone kaboom. For most of the season, Thorson has been running a traditional torsion bar setup on that 88 sprint car, but brought this new coilover setup out at TMS last week. And real quick, if you don't know what a coilover is, it's basically combining your shock and spring into one unit. Usually, sprint cars run shocks and then torsion bars serve as the springs. Anyways, it's not been an easy rookie year for Thorson here with just 15 top 10s in 46 races. He's actually down on race starts from all of the other full-timers because he missed the Port Royal weekend for the birth of his child. There have been some bright spots, though, including early in the year at East Bay. He won his prelim at Gold Cup. He had a 2nd place run at Riverside. Coilovers, though, are something that Thorson is familiar with from the midget side. Here's a photo of his Chili Bowl car actually on coilovers. If you look, you can see on the front of the car there, just peeking out there behind the guard, a little bit of a spring. And he seems to be finding some speed with this setup right now. And this type of thing isn't something you see much of in sprint car racing, even though it had a moment many years ago. I'm going to get a bunch of comments about, this isn't the first time coilover cars had happened. Yes, we're aware, but this doesn't happen very often. The other coilover car we've seen this season was the Sammy Swindell, Sean Wood, Flea Ruzick car that debuted at the Knoxville Nationals. Just a few days ago, Flea actually shared a photo to Twitter of the 2nd version of their design that will make its debut at World Finals here in a few weeks. I'll definitely be stopping by to check that one out. But I've compiled a bunch of photos that I wanted to share to compare Thorson's car, Swindell's car, plus kind of the standard torsion bar stuff so you can see some of the differences. The first one here is the front of Thorson's car and the front of Swindell's car, both coilovers, and you'll notice no front torsion bars. But where Thorson's car has the coilovers mounted in the expected places where the shocks normally go, remember that Swindell car had the right front mounted inboard, so you can kind of see the differences here between these two different designs. Both coilover cars, but very different looking front setups. And then on the rear, here's a 3-way side-by-side. The leftmost picture is a standard traditional sprint car setup. You'll see the torsion arm plus the stop for the other side of the torsion bar. I've got all of that kind of pointed out here. The middle photo is the Swindell car, and then the right is Thorson's car. And you'll see how the frame looks different kind of right at that corner spot. There's kind of some similar looking parts and pieces there. There's things that kind of look like a torsion arm, but it's obviously not connected to a bar. There's also no place on either of the two coilover cars for there to be a torsion stop mounted. But at a time where so many things are the same from sprint car to sprint car, I'm hopeful that Thorson and this kind of Swindell Wood Ruzick trio can find some speed and performance. I think it's fun to see some guys go off the beaten path. It'd be nice to have some more different looking sprint cars in the pit area. All right, let's run through and preview some of the other racing to come this weekend. First, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series will be at Brownstown for 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. 10,000 to win Friday, 50,000 to win on Saturday. More importantly, though, drivers must leave this weekend in striking distance of the points leader to go to Eldora for the Dirt Track World Championship, having a shot at that Lucas title. And obviously, we're talking about the Lucas Chase contenders right now. Devin Moran leads Jonathan Davenport by 10 points, with Ricky Thornton Jr. 60 back and Tim McCready 80 back. RTJ and McCready especially need to have strong weekends if they want a real chance next weekend. Looking back through 2020, Moran has a Brownstown win, RTJ's got one, and McCready has 2. As for average finish there, McCready leads all drivers at 5.9, Moran's at 6.6, Davenport at 8.2, and RTJ at 9.2. I think it should be a good weekend to hit the track in Indiana. There will be no lack of pressure on these guys for the next couple of nights. At Lincoln Speedway in Central PA on Saturday, the World of Outlaws make their final appearance in the state for this year. This one is 20,000 win, and this one has replaced that 2-day show that was originally supposed to be at Selinsgrove. David Gravel currently has 86 points on Carson Macedo for the World of Outlaws Championship. Things are pretty much settled, I think, right now in the standings. Macedo would need a heroic effort and likely trouble for Gravel to win the championship. And we might see 6th place change hands between Sheldon Hodenshield and Logan Schuchart over the next couple of weeks. Nothing else much really in play. Gravel won the other race at Lincoln this season, and a win on Saturday I think would really cement his championship position. In New York at Oswego, it's going to be a busy next few days for Super Dirt Week. The Wednesday action was postponed, reshuffling the schedule for the rest of the event. Cars will be on track today starting at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time, so probably by the time you watch this, they'll already be on track. Pro Stock feature is Friday evening, followed by the 358 Modified Salute to the Troops 150. Saturday evening features get going with the 75-lapper first for the Sportsman competitors, followed by the Super Dirt Car Series 200-lap main event that pays $52,000 to win. Matt Williamson looking to repeat in that one. USAC Sprint Cars hit Lawrenceburg Friday and Saturday with 20 grand on the line there for the finale. Logan Seavey continues to control the standings with Brady Bacon running out of races to catch him. The USAC Sprint Car season will wrap up in a few weeks at Red Dirt Raceway. And if you're looking for other late model action, the MLRA is at I-70 tonight and then Tri-City on Friday. Their season is almost over. And the Comp Cam Series has good money on the line at Magnolia in Mississippi. Other open wheel action includes both NARC and the Sprint Car Challenge Tour racing in California. The NARC 410s are at Tulare on Saturday. Justin Sanders, Cole Macedo still locked in a tight championship battle. And the 360 Sprint Car Challenge Tour joins them at Tulare. Andy Forsberg closing in on that title over Braden Chiamonte. Power Eye Midgets are spending the next 3 nights at Port City, joined by Micros. Ken McIntosh will win the Power Eye Midget National Championship with Brock Elliott on his way to the Power Eye West title. The Fast Sprint Cars are at Atomic Speedway in Ohio on Saturday for their season finale. This championship is going to come down to the final few laps here between Brennan Spithaller and Zane DeVault, so don't sleep on that one. And the ASCS National Tour heads to Benton Speedway and Paducah Friday and Saturday. Sam Haferteep still trying to run down Seth Bergman. All right, that's the daily for this second week of October. Hope you guys get a chance to get out there, enjoy some of these final days of dirt racing this year. Drop me a comment, let me know your plans for the weekend. Hope you guys have a great Thursday out there. We will see you right back here on Sunday.